It's about 2:20 p.m. on Monday, June 9th, and I have a serious question for the strongly pro-Second Amendment crowd, that segment of our population that are or are very close to being single-issue voters, and that issue being the Second Amendment. Those guys who probably have "We the People" tattooed on them somewhere, or "Shall Not Be Infringed." Where are you guys? You guys have been telling us for 40 years that your Second Amendment rights shall not be infringed because you need to be able to protect this country from a tyrannical government. The President of the United States has, at a minimum, mobilized 700 Marines and has potentially already deployed them into the streets of an American city to combat protesters who he does not like. He does not like them because they disagree with him. This president does not like them because they are protesting against him and his policies. And he is deploying active duty Marines into the streets of the United States to combat those protesters. Where the fuck are you guys, man? I recognize that you guys overwhelmingly voted in support of this president, Donald Trump. But you care about the Second Amendment, and the Second Amendment is not a partisan amendment. If you are not out in the streets with these protesters, with your weapons, then you are nothing but partisan hacks. And you care about your partisanship over the principle of the Second Amendment. In fact, you have no principles when it comes to the Second Amendment. You like the Second Amendment when it benefits your side politically. Where the fuck are you guys? You should be shoulder to shoulder with these protesters. This president has already commandeered a state's National Guard against the consent of its governor. Here's what I want you to imagine. I want you to imagine it's 2012, when the Tea Party was popping off and Obamacare was getting passed, and there were massive protests against both of those in red states, and Barack Obama was president of the United States. Let's say in Idaho or Nebraska or Kansas or Tennessee or South Carolina or Florida or Texas or Arkansas, Oklahoma, Louisiana, Mississippi, Alabama, that Barack Obama commandeered that state's National Guard and deployed them into the streets to go against you guys. And then let's say he mobilized and deployed 700 Marines, active duty military Marines with weapons, into the streets of your town because he didn't like what you were protesting. Whatever you would do in that situation is what you ought to be doing right now. And if you're not, it's because you're a partisan fucking hack and you have no principles. And the actual meaning of the Second Amendment doesn't mean shit to you. You like it when it benefits your side politically. And that is fucking weak and lame and childish and traitorous behavior. Where the fuck are you guys?